You set goals. You reach them. Again and again. But afterward, there's a silence. A drop. That strange, dull emptiness no one talks about. You thought the achievement would bring something lasting. Pride, peace, maybe joy. Instead, it fades quicker than you expected. And you're already thinking about what's next. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. There's a certain type of person. Maybe it's you, who's always moving, always building, improving, aiming. You get things done. You chase the next milestone with discipline, maybe even with grace. But underneath that drive, there's often something quieter. A tension, a hunger that never quite goes away.
And the question that haunts you when you stop for even a second: why does none of this feel like enough?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the achiever, the one who measures days and output, who finds safety in structure, who doesn't quite know who they are without a goal in sight.
You've probably been praised for it. Your focus, your ambition, your work ethic.
And sure, those are strengths, but they can also be armor. A way of proving your worth, again and again, without ever really resting. Because for the achiever, it's not just about getting things done. It's about survival. You orient your life around results. Not because you're shallow, but because somewhere along the way, you learned that results equal value. That doing is being. That if you slow down or stop, you'll somehow lose your place. Or worse, lose yourself. So you fight. Not always in dramatic ways, but in quiet, constant friction. You push yourself through exhaustion. You say yes when you're already drowning. You move the finish line as soon as you cross it. And the worst part? You often don't even notice you're doing it. Because it feels normal, necessary, even noble. But it comes at a cost. And that cost is joy. Not the loud, celebratory kind, but the simple, grounding joy of being alive. Of sitting in your own presence without needing to earn it. When you're always chasing something, you miss everything in between. Meals become checklists. Walks become strategy sessions. Rest becomes guilt. You might look like you have it all together, but inside it's different. Inside there's pressure, an edge, a kind of quiet panic that never fully leaves. And it's not because you're broken. It's because you've tied your sense of safety to performance, to control, to being impressive. But approval is a shaky foundation. No amount of achievement can stabilize it. Because the truth is, much of this drive comes from a place you rarely talk about. Fear. Fear of being unseen. Fear of being not enough. Fear of what might surface if you stop running. And that fear hides in subtle places. It hides behind your to-do list. It hides in your need to prove, to perfect, to outperform. It disguises itself as ambition, but really it's anxiety. Not the kind that makes you panic. The kind that makes you productive. That whispers, if you just do a little more, maybe you'll finally feel okay. But the finish line keeps moving, and eventually, so do the people around you. Because when you're always focused on what's next, it becomes hard to connect, hard to be present. You stop seeing people as companions and start seeing them as comparisons, or distractions, or sometimes threats to your momentum. That's how you start to burn out, not with fire, but with quiet erosion. You lose the color in your life. You stop laughing. You forget how to rest without checking your phone. You lose the softness in your own voice. So what now? What's the alternative? Giving up? Settling? Letting go of ambition? Not at all. But maybe, instead of living from the goal, you start living toward yourself. Maybe you learn to trade obsession for attention. Instead of chasing results, you begin to value the rhythm of the process. The quiet satisfaction of showing up. Not to perform, but to participate. You begin to see rest not as a break from progress, but as part of it. You recognize that stillness isn't laziness. It's a return. To your own breath. To your own thoughts. To a life that doesn't need to be optimized to be meaningful. And maybe most importantly, you give yourself permission to be unproductive. Not forever. Just for a moment. Just long enough to realize you're still here. Still worthy. Still enough. Even when you're not achieving. Even when you're not being admired. Even when you're simply sitting in a quiet room, doing absolutely nothing. That's not failure. That's healing. Because you are not your output. You are not your productivity. You are not your latest project, your newest goal, or your biggest win. You are someone deeper, softer, more whole than any resume could ever describe. And the more you believe that, the more you begin to use achievements for what they were always meant to be. Tools, not crutches. Not replacements for self-worth. Just tools. To build. To grow. To explore. You don't need to stop achieving. But you do need to stop disappearing into it. You don't need to stop aiming high. But you need to make room for low moments. gentle days, ordinary hours, because that's where life happens. Not at the finish line,
But in the space you allow yourself to feel, fully, as you go.
let your ambition expand, not consume you. Let your drive move you, not trap you. Let your success be a byproduct of who you are, not the only thing holding you together. Because achievements are not a substitute for a life. They are a part of it. And the rest is waiting for you.